Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Planet X News, December 10th, 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure all of you are aware of what happened in New Zealand yesterday with the volcanic eruption while the tourists were on the volcano. I got wind of this not too long after the event actually occurred, and I have to be honest with all of you, like I always am. This was quite startling. Give me a sec. I'm going to pull up the live chat here, and after getting some of the initial information, I was completely devastated, knowing that there were a number of people literally left on this volcano as it was erupting. Now, dealing with volcanoes, I've researched volcanoes now for probably, maybe 15 years or more. I understand them completely. Why tourists were allowed on this volcano is besides me. Why people live below volcanoes in several countries in the South Pacific and Italy, they're all over the world, but to live near or beneath a volcano is kind of crazy. But anyways, getting back to this exclusive report, immediately after this happened, I started digging into this within the hour. I did 2 videos yesterday laying out what was happening, and dealing with these tour operators and these people from the cruise ship. Very early on in my advertising career, the company that I worked for in Miami had 2 exclusive accounts with Carnival Cruise Lines and Royal Caribbean. And our task was to film on board commercials for the cruise lines. So I got to take, maybe 20 cruises over the years. And, we would go out to the islands and film these commercials for the cruise lines. And I think it was my 3rd cruise. We were in the Bahamas. I was on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship, and woke up the next morning, and we were in the middle of the ocean, and there was a very, very small, little teeny tiny island right off in the distance. And all of these tour operators, well, actually, Royal Caribbean actually owns that little island. They bought it off of the Bahamian government. I believe it was called Cat's Cay. And they shuttle you from the cruise ship on these boats. They were like flat bottom boats. They hold anywhere between 25 and 50 people. And they shuttle you over to the island. You spend maybe 8 hours on the island running around. They have pavilions. They had a lunch. It was pretty fun. We filmed our commercial over there. It was absolutely fantastic. But I'm very, very familiar with these tour boats. And like I said, they only hold maybe 25 people, 50 people max. And you literally come out of the side of the cruise ship at the very bottom, and you board these flat bottom vessels, and they shuttle you over to the island. There's a dock space there and the whole 9 yards. And then you get off and you tour the island. Well, the same thing applies for what these folks were doing on their vacation, getting off of the cruise ship, being shuttled over to this volcano. And then they were, hiking all over the volcano, taking video, taking photographs. One gentleman, I think his name is, if I don't forget, I believe his name was Michael Shade. He was a tourist on the island that day. He was actually standing up near the rim of the crater, took some video, took some photographs, and then I believe he trekked all the way back down. Possibly was maybe near the docking area, and then back on one of the shuttle boats, and he was able to capture some really exclusive photographs and video of that volcano going off. The whole point of this video is to show the investigation that I started late yesterday, because there weren't a lot of answers out there to what people were asking. Where are the survivors? Where are the people that were left on the damn island? Because the situation got so bleak and so bad and so dangerous very, very quickly that they had to get away from the island as fast as possible. And I know there's probably nobody listening to this live stream at this point in time that's ever been involved in a volcanic blast, meaning, standing on the damn volcano as it's going off. The flow of ash, they estimated, reached approximately 12,000 feet. If you've ever seen photographs of this island, many, many moons ago, the one side of the volcano was completely blasted outward. So it's actually not like a completely round crater. There is a huge portion of it that is completely missing. Now, getting back to this exclusive report, I was reading some news reports coming out of New Zealand, and suspiciously, ever since that terrorist attack in New Zealand, they have kind of limited information coming out and going in to their country on the internet. And I was trying to view a news report video on a New Zealand website, and it told me that I didn't have the rights to access that from my country. So that was kind of weird. I started digging around a little bit more. And then I remembered that I had a link to the GeoNet website for New Zealand. And that is the government website that deals with volcanic activity, earthquake activity, storms, and things of that nature. Now, just before this volcanic eruption occurred, I believe it was the southern portion of the island was completely inundated with a massive, massive storm. Actually, right up here on my website, intense weather strands 1,000 tourists, spawns over 857,000 lightning strikes over New Zealand. And you guys can check that article out. It's on the planetxnews.org website. There's some tweets that are embedded in the article, videos and things of that nature, and you can check it out. But getting back to the volcanic eruption, I decided to go to GeoNet and see if there was any information there on the volcanic activity, the monitoring of the volcano, because that is one of the things that GeoNet does. They monitor earthquake data. They monitor volcanic data. This volcano is only approximately 30 miles off of the northern coast of New Zealand. So it is not very far from the mainland. And then I started thinking, wait a minute, I think there was a substantial earthquake near that volcano right at the end of November. I believe it was a magnitude 5.9. So when I went to the GeoNet website, I looked up that volcano, or I looked up that earthquake. Sure enough, that magnitude 5.9 earthquake occurred on November 24th, literally almost right underneath this White Island volcano. A magnitude 5.9. That is what it is still currently listed as. So that kind of piqued my curiosity. Okay. We have a magnitude 5.9 earthquake right underneath this volcano on November 24th. Let me go back a little bit further. Let me see if there was some activity on this volcano prior to the earthquake. Wow. Lo and behold, I go all the way back to October 30th, 2019, and what do I find? What do I find? And I'm going to be quite frank with each and every one of you. After I reviewed this volcanic data, the more and more I got into it, the more and more upset I actually became. Why? Because the volcanologists, the seismologists, just about everybody that works at GeoNet knew about the volcanic activity that was occurring as far back as October 30th. Now, when I started going into their volcano data, I found it. I found it all. And I put it all together and I published it in this exclusive report. You're not going to see this report anywhere on the internet. You're not going to see it on the news. They're not going to tell you about it. However, just about 10 minutes ago, I just heard on Fox News that there is a possibility that they are going to open a criminal investigation. A criminal investigation into the tour operators. But who warns the tour operators? Who warns the cruise lines? GeoNet. GeoNet. The New Zealand government should have notified the tour operators. They should have suspended any activity for tour groups or excursions or hiking on this volcano as far back as October 30th. Did they? Apparently they did not. Why? Because as of right now, 6 people have lost their lives. There are many people in the hospital with very, very severe burns and lung injuries from inhaling the ash. And volcanic ash is kind of like inhaling powderized glass. And once it gets into your moist lungs, it literally turns into cement and you suffocate. It's a horrible, horrible way to die. So let's go ahead and get into this, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what happened. We'll go ahead and click on this, and we'll pull this up. Now, just as my heading states right here, no tourists should have been on White Island volcano due to prior activity detections weeks ago. Weeks ago. Actually, almost a month, almost 5 or 6 weeks ago. So what I did is I read through some of the articles that were coming out of New Zealand. I caught a photograph that was sent to me of one of the tourist helicopters, and you can see it right there. That tourist helicopter was completely destroyed. It's probably never going to work again. You can see the propellers bent. Now, I don't know if those propellers are made like that to bend down, or that was from the heavy flow of ash that might have destroyed the propellers. But you can see that escape mechanism to get off of that volcano was inoperable. As I got into more information, there are still a lot of people that are missing. The New Zealand government is claiming that it's entirely too dangerous to get over there to the island and do a search and rescue. Well, they're claiming that the rescue efforts are pretty much over, and it's more of a recovery effort now, if they can possibly find the deceased. But as I was saying in the very beginning, if you look at this volcano, you could see at some point in time the whole side of the volcano was completely blasted away. Kind of looks like Mount St. Helens now. That whole side of the mountain volcano completely blasted away. And again, that does make for easy access if you want to get up there and literally tour that crater. It also shows you right here where the landing wharf or dock was, where the tour boats come in, dock, the people get off, do their excursion, hiking, taking video, photographs, things of that nature. Right up here in this little blue corner where the square is, excuse me, that shows you exactly where this small volcanic island is. And again, it's only about 30 miles north of the North Island. So this was an aerial photograph that was captured not too long after that initial blast. And according to the witnesses and according to the New Zealand authorities, this was just one big gigantic blast. It did not continue on and on and on, thank God. But it was enough to harm people that were there. You guys can read through this article if you want. It's all current information that I've scooped up from different sources and I put it all together. And this is one of the photographs right here from one of those tour boats that was supposedly taking people back to the cruise ship. You can see that is a very, very heavy blast. It looks like the tour boat was trying to get away from that huge horseshoe-shaped opening because it seemed like the blast was coming out that way. Oops. Almost knocked my microphone over. There are videos. Here's the gentleman, Michael Shade. He did record a good bit of video. We can take a quick watch of this one. Yeah. There you can see the dock, and you can see partially the very large opening that was blasted away at some time in the past. You can see the helicopter buried. And these are just brief video clips that this gentleman uploaded onto his Twitter account. Now, further down in my article, here's the question. Why were tourists on that island? And as I stated in the beginning of our live stream here, if you look right here, this is what I've written. After reviewing the White Island volcanic activity reports from the Geological Hazard Information for New Zealand's website, it is clear that there was substantial awareness of volcanic activity brewing below the crater. Well, basically, in layman's terms, that means that the people at GeoNet knew all the way back right here on October 30th at 1:30 p.m., they published a report. Here's the report right here. Volcanic Alert Bulletin WI-201908. Volcanic unrest continues at the Wakari, White Island, and some monitored parameters show an increase in activity with a level of uncertainty. And then it states, over the last several months, we have observed a change in the amount of SO2, a gas, and that's very poisonous. When I was in the gas well industry, I had to wear an SO2 monitor constantly. They also use them in coal mining. But they knew that something was occurring. Again, October 30th. This event happened December 9th. So between October 30th and yesterday, tour boats and tourists and people and helicopter tours, they're going back and forth to a volcano that was active. It may not have looked active, but it was. And GeoNet knew it. Then, right here, Monday, November 18th, 2 weeks later, 12 p.m., right on the dot, they issue another warning. White Island Volcano report states, Volcanic Alert Bulletin WI 2019-09, volcanic unrest continues at Wakari, White Island, and some monitored parameters show further increases in activity. Hazards on the island are now greater than during the past few weeks, and the volcanic alert level is raised to level 2. Okay, so that was less than a month ago, November 18th. So on November 18th, GeoNet knew that things were getting worse in the crater. And then on November 24th, I believe, the magnitude 5.9 earthquake occurred damn near under this volcanic island. But just wait. Let's go further. Monday, November 25th, 2019, 2 p.m., another bulletin. Moderate volcanic unrest continues at White Island, but no new changes are observed in the monitored parameters. Volcanic alert level remains at 2. And then I believe it was the next day that the earthquake, the 5.9, struck. Now, we move to Tuesday, December 3rd, 2019, 1 p.m. Volcanic Alert Bulletin WI 2019-11 comes out. Moderate volcanic unrest continues at White Island with substantial gas, steam, and mud bursts observed at the vent locations at the back of the crater lake. Other monitoring parameters remain elevated and the volcanic alert level stays at 2. Explosive gas and steam-driven mud jetting continues from the active vent area on the back of the crater lake on White Island. The level of activity at the vent is variable, and when it is a stronger phase, some material being deposited about the vent area. This style of activity has been present since September. Although it is occurring more frequently now, no volcanic ash is being produced. Oh, well, why don't we invite thousands of people to go hang around on an active volcano? Who cares? I mean, that's basically the attitude that I see brewing here. You knew that this was an active volcano. You've known for approximately 2.5 months that the activity on the island was increasing. It was increasing substantially. But again, no alerts to tour operators, no alerts to cruise lines. And listen, all it takes is to radio the cruise line. They know where the ships are. Hey, Breaker 19, this is New Zealand GeoNet. We have substantial volcanic activity on White Island. The island is now closed to tourist activity, so please don't put your innocent passengers on those tour boats and send them to their death. Did they do that? Apparently not. So that was on December 3rd. December 9th, the day of the blast, 2:30 p.m., Volcanic Alert Bulletin WI 2019-12. Eruption occurred at White Island. An eruption has occurred at White Island. The volcanic alert level is raised to 4. Aviation color code is raised to orange, which means don't fly anywhere near this volcano. Blasts like that can send, large rocks and boulders flying through the air at the speed of a missile, that hitting a helicopter or any type of aircraft. That would be like, shooting an aluminum soda can with a BB gun. It's just going to go right through it and, bring down the plane. It states that an eruption has occurred on White Island at 1411 hours local time. We are aware that people were on the island and immediately before the eruption, and we express our concerns for their safety. Jesus Christ. Anyways, it says our monitoring data shows that there was a short-lived eruption that generated an ash plume to 12,000 feet above the vent. Okay. Short-lived eruption, blasting ash 12,000 feet into the air. I'd call that a significant situation for anybody near that island. Whether you were a mile off of the coast of the island, sitting near the dock, or on the island. I've written right here, going back to the date of October 30th, 2019, no alerts or warnings were given to these tour groups, even though GeoNet had enough data to issue a warning and suspend travel to the island. Folks, here in the United States, we depend on agencies like this. I know we knock the USGS quite a bit. They sometimes deserve it. But we rely on that data for earthquakes, especially if you live in an area that has quakes. Knowing that this volcano had been active for approximately 6 or 7 weeks prior to this incident, this is a travesty. This is just a horrible lack of communication. I just don't understand why these scientists, why the people in charge just didn't step up to the plate and say, hey, listen, we have elevated activity on this volcanic island. We need to suspend tourist travel to the island immediately until we see this activity going down. And the activity under the volcano, under the island, it did not go down. It actually gradually elevated. Now remember, on November 24th, 2019, a magnitude 5.9 earthquake struck nearby the White Island volcano, which could have triggered the buildup of internal pressure below the crater. And reports from GeoNet confirmed that the volcano was showing elevated activity again. No warnings were given to tour groups visiting the island. No warnings were given to cruise lines that had scheduled disbursements of their passengers over to a volcano that was being monitored for elevated activity by professionals, by professional volcanologists, seismologists, the people at GeoNet in New Zealand. And you know what? I hope this live stream is viewed by some of you people that work at GeoNet. Because I don't think that a criminal investigation needs to be opened up into the tour operators. I think a criminal investigation needs to be opened up into GeoNet. That's a government agency there. They're responsible. If you don't warn the tour operators, what are they supposed to know? They've probably been going back and forth to this location for years and years. What about the cruise lines? I mean, I could see the lawsuits coming in droves for the people that lost their lives and that were injured, badly injured. And for the people that are missing and may never be found. Because they may be buried under tons of volcanic ash. And nobody knew explicitly where each individual was at the time of the blast. So how are you going to find them? I mean, you could take a cadaver dog there and maybe find them. Highly unlikely. But even after this 5.9 earthquake on November 24th, if that was me sitting in the GeoNet office and I was in charge, or even if I was a low-level peon, I would have said to my superiors, hey, listen, we just had a magnitude 5.9 earthquake under the crater. We've already been monitoring elevated activity as far back as October 30th, and as we saw back into September. So as these weeks went by, the activity in the crater was going up. Wasn't going down. It was going up. So what does it take? Like I said, you issue a warning. You close off the island. No tourists allowed on the island. No hikers. No excursions. No tour boats. And you issue a warning for air travel, I don't know, maybe within a mile or so of the volcano, just in case. Just imagine an unsuspecting helicopter tour operator flying directly over the crater, just a few seconds before the blast. Well, that's a pyroclastic blast. I mean, that's going to elevate several thousand feet within a matter of seconds, engulfing the helicopter and bringing it straight down to the ground, probably within the crater. A crash. So, again, folks, they knew what was happening. And as of right now, the latest is the Volcanic Alert Bulletin WI 2019-15 states the following. Since this morning, the seismic activity has remained weak, yet we continue to see periodic streams of gas, periodic streams and gas driven jetting from the active vent area. The volcanic alert level remains at 3. So 3 is kind of a mid-level. It goes on to state that an eruption occurred at White Island at 14:11 p.m. on Monday, the 9th of December. Unfortunately, with tragic consequences, we express our sincere sympathies with those families affected. Whew. If I was one of those families that was affected by this tragedy, and I knew what I know now, I would be on a plane to New Zealand to confront these people at GeoNet. I can't really go into what I would actually really do, but I would lose my mind. I mean, this is horrible. This is uncalled for. They knew what was happening. But they just failed to do anything about it. That's very sad. People on a vacation, enjoying themselves, they just don't make it home. Huh. To me, folks, there's no excuse for this at all. None. These are professionals. I feel they knew the dangers, but they just overlooked it. It's like the old saying goes, you know, better to be safe than sorry. Better to be safe and warn the tour operators, warn the cruise lines, and say, hey, suspend all tourist activity on the island. Please don't go there. Send a bulletin out. Radio transmission to the cruise ships. Suspend the activity. Simple as that. Don't go there. Now, families have to deal with their deceased. Families now have to deal with the injuries sustained by the survivors. You know who I feel bad for, really bad, is for the families that may never, ever get their loved ones back. Because that volcanic island is now their tomb. forever if they don't recover the other people. Huh. That's what I've come up with. You guys can go to the planetxnews.org website. You can read this in full if you want. Share the article. I think more people need to know what exactly happened before they cover it up. And you know damn well that that's probably what's going to happen. We saw what happened in New Zealand back during that one situation that set the internet ablaze. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they shut off all communications over there in New Zealand, treating their own damn people like prisoners on their island. I am not a fan of that Jacinda Ardern. She is pathetic. I was actually going to show a video of her press conference, but after I started watching it myself, it turned my stomach to listen to her talk. So now we get into more and more non-disclosure of very important information. This has been a big problem for the last couple of years. Look, you all hear me squeal about it all the time. The censoring and things of that nature and the shadow banning and blah, blah, blah. The powers that be, they control it all, man. They control it all. Just over the last couple of days, I've had some big fights once again with Facebook. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, but I also run a big news website with hundreds of thousands of followers and viewers on Facebook, USA Headline News. I've been working on that website since 2018. Really took off. I do a lot of work on it every single day. And the Facebook page has, I believe, close to 103,000 followers. I do multiple news articles and videos on a daily basis. And just recently we got the YouTube channel up and running, and that's doing real good. But on December 4th at about 7 o'clock in the morning, I noticed in the analytics for the Facebook page, everything went boop down in the dumps, meaning our reach was 30, 40, 50 people that would see an article. And I thought that was kind of shady. And I'm no stranger to social media and how it works. I fully understand it. And I contacted my Facebook representative because the Facebook page is a business. We do run ads on Facebook, which means we pay Mark Zuckerberg, and they do give you access to a human being, and you can have phone conversations with this person. Yeah, a real human being at Facebook. And I have a very nice young Oriental lady who takes care of my account. and we had a phone conversation on the day of the 4th. Well, the day of the 4th was the beginning of this stupid impeachment hearing. And I guess they knew that I was going to be back on that full blast with videos, articles, and complete coverage. So at 7 a.m., they literally turned my lights out. Now, they didn't suspend the page or anything like that. What they did is something called deboosting or de-throttling your Facebook page. And that is done through one of their engineers that places a code on your Facebook account. And what that does is that limits the reach into the news feeds. So the same thing applies for YouTube, guys. You know, I have over 85 or 82,000, I don't even know what it is, 85,000 subscribers now. I should have millions, but they suppress the information. And that's exactly what they did to me on Facebook. So I contacted my representative at Facebook, and we've been going back and forth for several days now about what's happening. She sent me an email yesterday, and she said, yes, she said, I do agree. I do see that someone internally flagged your account for unoriginal content. I said to myself, real quick, what the hell is unoriginal content? I've never heard that term before. But these people at Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, I don't know, it kind of seems like they make up the rules as they go. Nobody knows about them. And that's that. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how the suppression of information is conducted. They did this in New Zealand. After that one situation that we all know about, I'm not even going to say what happened. We know what happened. But after that, the country of New Zealand literally threatened the internet service providers to stop and suppress the content about that certain situation from going in and out of the country. They did it. And it's happening to each and every one of us. So let me just show you. Do-do-do-do. This is our, sorry about that. This is our USA headline news. And I want to show you guys something. See here, we have over 102,000 followers. And I work continuously every single day on this Facebook page. You see what's happening already? Look. Do you see anything there? Nothing. Let's refresh the page. Let's see if something comes up. So this is something else that they do to Facebook pages that they want to slow down. They will actually, no matter how powerful your computer is, they can literally slow down how the page actually uploads. Even if you're running from a supercomputer, they will slow everything down. So let's take a look. And I have a supercomputer. I got a very, very powerful computer, and I have really powerful streaming software and internet access. So let's check it out. This was the article I published. I shared it with USA Headline News about what we just talked about, that article. Now, 2 hours ago, you can see it shows me how many people that this article reached. It shows me how many people engaged into the article, meaning clicked on it. So you see 714 people within 2 hours. That's kind of moderate. But let's go back here. Here's a video that I produced, and this was 11 hours ago. They suppressed this video, and it only reached 99 people out of 103,000. Talk about China, and they'll let it go through. Look at that. 12 hours ago, China, in the headline, it reached almost 3,000 people in 12 hours. That right there is normally how Facebook business works. But let's not get too happy. Look at this. 12 hours ago, only 118. And this is all yesterday. This is all from the hearing, the ridiculous hearing that went on yesterday. Here's another article that I did for our website. Durham blasts Horowitz after IG report spares FBI brass in Trump probe origin. Only 56 people they put that article in front of out of 103,000 followers of ours. Think that's bad. 14 hours ago, I got the whole entire IG report for download so you can read it all for yourself. I published that 14 hours ago. 46 people. 46 people. You can see these numbers. They're ridiculous. I shared this article, or this video. I shared the video, and I did it for a reason. This was 21 hours ago. The House Judiciary Committee holds public hearing for the Trump impeachment. This was through Fox Business. Look at the views. 2.3 million. 2.3 million. So what I've come to find out is that social media will suppress, I would have to say, about 75% of information, if not more than that, that is not coming from mainstream media. Because they want to maintain their narrative, whatever the hell it is. So that's why people in the so-called truth community are having such a hard time getting the word out, even getting a warning out. If you use that word warning or alert, look out. Your video or your article is getting buried. Buried. Here's another article, 23 hours ago. It only reached 71 people. So this is something that's been going on for some time, but on December 4th, there's just no doubt whatsoever that Facebook put the kibosh on USA Headline News. They've already admitted in my email that this was all due to unoriginal content. Unoriginal. Yeah. So, how the hell do you define unoriginal? I do all of my own work. period. And it's all professionally done. If you watch any of the short news videos, man, they're just as good as what you see on your TV. I mean, check out my new opening. I'll click on this video right here. And this was a beautiful, lovely exchange between Representative from Florida, Matt Gaetz, as he grills the snobby Democratic attorney Dan Goldman yesterday. I thought this was beautiful. But you tell me if that's unoriginal content. So that is how social media is wiping people out, left and right. They did it to my YouTube channel. They do it to my Facebook pages. They do it to a lot of other people. And here's the thing, folks. It's going to get worse. It's going to get so bad that all that you're going to be left with is the mainstream narrative that is on the news. ABC, CBS, NBC, the BBC, the CBC, whoever. They're going to control the narrative, and the people in the truth community that actually do their damn homework and legitimately investigate and research things, you are going to be kicked in the balls, kicked in the face, kicked in the mouth, and, thrown in the garbage. Because they just don't want the real truth to come out. And I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for the information that I just showed all of you pertaining to what has happened at that volcano in New Zealand. Now we know that those people should not have been on or anywhere near that volcanic island. But somebody just didn't care. Somebody just didn't care. I don't get it. But this is the world that we live in now. Again, that is another reason why I put together that private network, because I control that. I control it. I don't get censored there. You can go back to that private network. You can log in from your cell phone. You could log in from your computer. You can see the videos that I put up. You can see the articles that I put up. You can see the posts that I put up. Nobody is going to censor you. If you could afford the $5 a month, hey, so be it. The link's in the description box for our private network. Now, as things get worse with social media, I've already developed a way where I can upload videos. I can't do live streams from there, but I can record videos, do videos with all of my software. And every month I pay for 2 terabytes of space on my Google Drive. So what I've done before and what I will do in the future is I will record video information on my computer, upload it to my Google Drive, and then I will share the link to that video right in a post in the private network, on the private network site. It's the same as YouTube. You go to the post, you pull it up, you read the header, you click on the link, and it opens up to a full screen video just like you're watching YouTube. I even have the ability to give you a download button if you want to download it. Documents like that IG report. Okay, I can literally upload that to my drive, provide a link for anybody that wants to download it, and you guys can download it and you can read it in a PDF format right on your own computer. You don't have to worry about information being suppressed, because that's exactly what happened in New Zealand. They suppressed the information pertaining to that damn volcano. They suppressed the information for some reason or another, or maybe just somebody dropped the damn ball. But whatever they did and whatever the situation is, it cost people their lives, and it injured people, and it will affect families from around the world, because there were people from the United States, from Australia, from the UK, and several other countries. They're never coming home. Oh man, I'm starting to get upset. Those people are never coming home. I put the link to the article about the data that I uncovered. It is in the live chat. I will also put it in the description box under this video. Share it, folks. Share it. Let everybody know that that tragedy, it could have been avoided. And look, folks, it's not the first one. It's not going to be the last. Things around the world are actually getting worse. Massive, substantial flooding just occurred in South Africa. Horrendous. Days before this volcanic eruption in New Zealand. I just showed you the article. Massive storm moves in, flood, people trapped, 800,000 lightning strikes. I just showed a photograph. Let me pull it up here. Where the hell is it? I posted this in the Planet X News group and the Planet X News Facebook page. This is what the world looked like midday, I think around 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. I took screenshots of that side of the world, screenshots of that side of the world, put them together, and just earthquakes ripping across the entire globe. I posted that, and then I had one bozo leave a comment and said, "Oh, why are you trying to scare people? That scene happens every day." Well, I beg to differ with you, Mr. Bozo, because this scene that you see on your computer screen right now, folks, doesn't happen every day. It is now happening every day because of the circumstances that we are in. All of those big orange circles, those are all high magnitude 4s and 5s. But like they keep telling us, oh, there's nothing to worry about. Don't worry about anything. Yeah. You just keep believing that. You just keep on believing that. Anyways, folks, you know, I've got myself kind of pissed off right now. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Planet X News. Check your subscriptions to my YouTube channel. If you're not receiving notifications, just simply pull up Planet X News and go to the YouTube channel. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow our news. Matter of fact, excuse me, my sinuses are killing me. A lot of people have been asking me that they want to follow the news page, and I'll put the link in the description in the description box. Christ, I can't talk. Yeah. And here's the thing, folks. Let me show you guys something real quick while we're on this subject. Whenever you are following a page on Facebook, this is what you need to do. Pay very close attention. You see, once you like the page, that's good, but that's not all. See, like YouTube did, Facebook also invoked their own little trick about a year and a half ago and didn't tell anybody. So what you need to do is, you see that following button? You're best to do this on a computer. You hover over that following button or click on it and then pan down to the drop-down menu. You see that button right there? See first? Make sure you check that. Then you go down to your notifications and you click on that again. See all posts, all on. Posts and offers. Now, I don't put up any offers because this isn't a shopping Facebook page. But you need to have these two settings on all Facebook pages that you follow. If you do not have these two settings check marked, like I'm showing you right now, you are only going to see a notification every now and then. The same thing applies for the Planet X News Facebook page. Same thing. You know, if you have to sit down one day, take a few minutes and go through the Facebook pages that you follow, you make sure you've liked the page, you hover over that following button, and you click See First, and click All On. These two settings need to be on. And Facebook's pretty good about that. If you do have both of those settings back-to-back set, you will get just about every single notification. And if you're following news and politics, you guys can follow me on USA Headline News. You can follow the Planet X News Facebook page. You can join the Facebook group. And all of the information I share daily on Planet X News, it's from around the world and stuff that I've been gathering. And this, I just shared this article 1 hour before the live stream, and this was the South Africa flooding. I mean, it was intense. Did a lot of damage. And listen, folks, We're going to see this. We're going to see this happening around the world. Doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't even matter what you believe in. I don't care if you don't believe in Planet X. I don't care if you don't believe in the research and the findings that I've shown everyone over all of these years. Okay? Put all of that aside. Forget about it. But just take a look. Take a look at what's happening. Our weather, our temperatures, and the earthquakes and the volcanoes, it says it all. I live in southwestern Pennsylvania, 20 miles south of the city of Pittsburgh. Yesterday, on December 9th, my temperature outside was 52 degrees. 52 in December. Yeah. And then I was chatting with Mark from the once known as the Blue Kool-Aid channel, now Wages World. And Mark sends me a picture from his yard, and in his nice green grass, dandelions are sprouting in December. Yeah. So the world, the earth, is going through major, major changes. Here's the deal, folks. Regardless of how old you are right now, today, on December 10th, you're probably going to be alive for maybe, the next 5 or 10 years. Hopefully much, much longer. But in the time to come, from this point on, your world as you knew it will fail to exist because of the changes that are going to occur and that are occurring on a very, very, very rapid pace. For our children and their children, things are going to be not so good. I worry about that all the time. I know I'll be dead and gone. I know I'll leave this world. But for all of those folks that are much younger, they don't have a clue. They really don't have a clue what they are in for. And it's sad. And you have all these people out there that will criticize me and that will flap their gums and, call you a fearmonger and every other name in the book. But I don't really worry about that because all of the proof, it's right outside. And each and every one of you listening to me now, you're all living it. Don't deny it. I think that we need to really start talking about this even more. But then there's always those closed-minded people that they don't want to hear it. Well, that's fine. Let them go. They'll come back to you when they shit their pants. And you have a choice. You could tell them, oh, you just crapped your pants because you're scared. Look, you smell pretty bad. So remember what you said before? You don't care? Oh, bye-bye. Or you could be a nice guy and you could welcome them in with crap in their pants, clean them up, and deliver a nice, good dose of truth. People will listen to you, guys. People will listen to you. You can't be discouraged. And I think each and every one of us who are awake or kind of awake, I think that we do have a duty to the rest of mankind to let people know that things are changing very, very rapidly. And they're not going to get better anytime soon. Not in this lifetime. I would probably say probably ever. I think that we are going through some very substantial changes that are going to be permanent. That's pretty much what I see. There's part of me that kind of does fear seeing that happen. And then there's the analytical side of me that wants to live forever so I could see it all. I know that won't happen. But there are so many things evolving around us, from asteroids and comets, detecting this object out there near the sun, our sun going through changes, our earth going through changes, our weather going through changes. It all boils down to one thing. For all of you that have denied it, hey, you beat me up over the years telling me and telling everybody else that this is all fake. But it's all happening now. And I got one thing to say to you. For the doubters, who's your daddy now? Yeah. Anyways, folks, check out the website. Check out Planet X News and USA Headline News on Facebook. Check this article out. Share the living hell out of it. Post it on Facebook. Tweet it. Do whatever you need to do. And let's get the word out. I appreciate each and every one of you being with me this morning very, very early. I'm going to do some more poking around. I'm going to see if I can find out some more information. But very, very tragic circumstances in New Zealand. Very, very sad. Say a prayer for the families and the people that lost their lives. At this point in time, that's the best that we could do. And we could also spread the truth. This is Scott from Planet X News. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much, folks. Take care. Be safe.